Hi, this is Robbie with the Nashville chapter of the National Autism Peer Support Group, and I wanted to pop on here for a minute to talk to you all about an issue that can be very stressful and significant for the autistic community, and that is navigating holiday events and social expectations as well as isolation during the holiday season. So, if you are new to our channel, this is our second edition of our channel here, and we are happy to have you, and we are excited to be able to bring more content to you. So, here in the United States, where we are located, December is a month of holidays. A lot of them are religious based, and then just Christmas in general, Kwanzaa, and other things, and just general gift giving traditions here. So if you are outside of the United States or outside of a cultural area that celebrates these things, all this information is still applicable to you, because I'm sure that there are different religious or social traditions in your community, and you experience a lot of these things at the time that it rolls around for the community that you are in. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the tendency for a lot of autistic people to feel alone or isolated during holiday seasons. And for some of us, we may not have family around us. We may be estranged. We may feel that we don't have a lot of friends. Maybe we don't have a romantic partner or significant other or another community that we feel that we're part of. And this can be very isolating and feel very lonely for a lot of us. For those who have co-occurring rejection sensitive dysphoria, this can feel like even more of a rejection and isolation. And I just wanted to express to you that you are not actually alone. There are millions of other neurodivergent people all over the world who go through this a lot of times during the holiday seasons, and you are valuable and you are awesome, and you have so much knowledge and talent and heart and good intentions to share, and you would not be here alive at this time if you weren't here for a purpose to contribute. And I know sometimes it may feel like you don't have a lot, but I promise you, you do. And there's probably somebody somewhere who's like, oh yeah, when I think about this person, they think of all the things that you've told them, or your kind heart, or your smile, or how you love animals, or you're helpful, or some other way that you've contributed, because I promise you that you have, even if you aren't aware of it. So if you are feeling alone at this time, there are a couple of things that you can do to help care for yourself during this. And first, an obvious way to do this is to enjoy holiday time. If you are employed and you get holiday time, the time that you have off is time you have to yourself. And so you can use this time to enjoy your special interest, watch your movies, put on your comfortable clothes, snuggle up with your pet if you have one, and binge watch, enjoy, do your autistic deep dive research into whatever you like, and just enjoy not being bombarded with stuff, and having the time to kind of recuperate and keep your own schedule and eat the food that you like and wake up when you want to and do the things that you want to, which can actually be very rejuvenating and are a form of self-care. So if you find yourself with a lot of extra time during the holidays and maybe you're not at social events, use this time to take care of yourself and to enjoy the things that you actually like. The second thing that I mentioned, if you do have a pet, I promise you that your fur baby loves you and wants you there all the time, and they're super happy to have you. So spend this time doing whatever you want to do with them, because they want you and they love you and they accept you, and they can be so important and so healing, and it's a mutually beneficial thing where they love having you and they contribute to your life in so many ways, even if you don't know it. And so do take advantage of the time to spend with your fur companion, just enjoying your quiet time in your life. And the third thing you can do is in most communities, there is probably a way you can be plugged in. There could be religious based holidays, regardless of your religion, that there's special times they have set aside that you can plug in. You can volunteer with different civic groups, maybe with a soup kitchen or a food pantry. You can let them know, hey, I identify as autistic. There are some things I may not be able to do, but for the most part, they would love to have you. You can help contribute that way and be with people in a way that can be easier for you. And a lot of organizations do offer like help with transportation if you do not drive. You can also, as we approach the new year, if you love animals, reach out to your local animal shelters and see if they need people to sit with the animals during New Year's Eve. A lot of animals are very traumatized by the loud sounds, and just having the presence of a person there who is kind and can talk to them and just be there can be very reassuring. It helps them, it helps you, and that's just an awesome thing to do if animal care is a special interest of yours. That is very, very helpful, very easy way for you to contribute and to feel like you are part of the community. The other thing is there could be faith-based or spiritual-based organizations, or if you come from an ethnic or national community that is different from where you're living, there may be activities you can plug into to be connected during that time. They're often not very long periods of time, all in one event, that would be welcoming. A lot of those also may be able to provide help for transportation with you if that is an issue. And you can just plug in and feel like you belong in a way that is not demanding or overloading to you, and you understand that there are other people like you that share your interests and share your background, and that you are an important part of your community. So even here in Nashville, we can't necessarily refer you to groups in your city or your nation. Please do use any internet resources and the autistic tendency to research things to find out about opportunities in your area. But more than likely, there is something, or there may be online activities that are going on during the holiday season that you can plug into for that sense of community. So we just want to let you know you are valuable. You are awesome. Keep being everything that you are. Learn as much as you can. Share your talents and your knowledge with everybody, because you are here for a reason, and you are very, very valuable and very needed in our world today. So I just wanted to let you know that off the bat. The next thing I wanted to go to, which can be a huge source of angst for a lot of autistic and neurodivergent people, if you are employed, is the workplace or office holiday party. And this can look a bunch of different jolly ways during the season. For some people, you might have an off-site event that is at a hotel or a restaurant. This can be distressing for some autistic people, particularly if you are not sure about social conventions at more formal things. You're not sure what to wear or what to do. So for the most part, if you're going to have a more formal event off-site, your manager or HR department who is conveying information about this should let you know what you are expected to wear. So they might say something like business casual, cocktail, holiday festive. For the most part, what this means usually is not your ripped jeans and hoodie and flannel pajamas and Uggs. If they say it's a pajama party, then bring out the flannel pajamas and Uggs. Otherwise, what they are probably meaning is like khaki pants and a nice shirt, or dark slacks and a nice shirt. If you are a person who identifies as female and likes to wear dresses, it would be a nice dress. If there's something more formal, they will usually say that it's semi-formal or formal. If you are not sure what this means, you can probably reach out to your manager or to your HR department or to a trusted, friendly coworker and say, hey, I'm not really sure what to wear. What does this mean? What do you think I should do? And for the most part, people will tell you, hey, wear khakis, or hey, wear slacks or a dress or something, and let you know you don't want to roll in with your hoodies and your ripped jeans and your sneakers. Some places that may absolutely be what it is, or you can wear your work uniform or that kind of thing. But if you are in any doubt and it makes you feel uncomfortable or awkward or anxious anyway, reach out to somebody. Most people will be happy to tell you. If not, you can always Google office party and that kind of thing and type in like what your industry is and get kind of a general idea. So a good thing to think is probably you just want to wear something the same or just a little bit nicer than what you would normally wear to work is kind of a safe thing. Just make sure you're clean, look decent, you're not looking sloppy when you do that. Obviously, you want to accommodate sensory things, so if it's like an ugly sweater theme and sweaters itch you, either try not to do that or wear like a t-shirt or undergarment that can help with that. Try to wear comfortable shoes, that kind of thing, so that you still look presentable and within the dress code, but it's not something that's going to drive you crazy for the few hours that you are there. So just again, reach out to your organization if you have any questions about what is appropriate for that. The second issue, which is my super unfavorite personally, is the office potluck party, where everybody's supposed to whip up some gourmet dish and present it in some beautiful way to all your coworkers who are going to take like a spoonful of it. And you're supposed to do this after you worked all day and then get it ready. So for those of you whose special interest and talent is whipping up gourmet artistic dishes, absolutely do that because it will be appreciated. For those of us who don't enjoy cooking or maybe have co-occurring ADHD and cooking is a problem for us, or those of us who have shared living spaces where we may not even have access to a full kitchen or all the equipment or any kind of knowledge on how to prepare something, you can get a pre-prepared dish from a restaurant or a grocery store. And even though this is generally considered to be low effort and lame, not everyone has the resources to whip up something great. It can also be very expensive. So if you need to go get potato salad from the grocery store deli or a box of cookies or whatever you need to do, that is perfectly valid and that is fine. And if you do not have the financial resources or some other way are not able to decide what you need to bring, it is also a very valid expression of teamwork and contribution if you go to the organizer or your manager and say, I can't bring something, but I can come earlier and help set up the plates or the tables or put ice in the cups, or I can stay afterward and help throw away the plates and put the food up, or some other way where you can contribute in a way that does not involve you having to buy and prepare and bring and present a dish. In any reasonable organization, that is perfectly valid. If for some reason that isn't valid, that's a whole other issue because you weren't hired, unless you're a chef, to cook for your coworkers. So do the very best you can, demonstrate a sincere desire to contribute to the team, and that should be good enough, and don't worry about it. I know a lot of us can spend a week or two or a month before an event worrying about what we're going to cook and what we're going to bring, and is it going to taste right, and are they going to like it, and what dish do we need to put it in, and is it going to look right, and do we have time, and a bunch of stuff. And it's honestly not worth it because your co-workers will not starve to death if you don't bring a gourmet dish. I'm sure they won't. So moving on to other work things. is the workplace gift exchange. And there are different terms for this. It can be white elephant, it can be dirty Santa, it can be gift exchange, and this can mean different things. So, the white elephant concept originally was meant to be like gag gifts, like weird things that you wrap up and give to people, and it's supposed to be a joke. That generally isn't the case now. So, white elephant and dirty Santa and gift exchange generally means you buy a very neutral gift and you wrap it up, and there is a game where everybody who participates gets a number. And so number one will have the first choice of picking any gift, and they can unwrap the gift and then keep it, and the next person who comes after them can choose to take their gift, or they can choose to unwrap another. And generally the rule is that after 3 times, the gift doesn't move around, it stays with whoever got it left. So the objective of this is not that you are receiving or giving anyone's dream Santa list gift, right? It's supposed to be a fun, neutral, and inexpensive sort of a thing that you do. So, if gift giving and receiving is an issue for you, or you have financial limitations that it's very hard for you to purchase a random gift for coworkers, the advice is to not participate in that if you can. And if you are uncomfortable with that, a good way to navigate that is to say, I wasn't able to bring a gift, but I'm going to be here to watch and have fun with you guys. With that, you're saying, I didn't bring a gift. You are expressing that you're not expecting to participate in the process and get a gift, and that you're just going to be there as a team player and being kind. Now, there may be times when whoever, coworker, manager, whoever's facilitating it says, oh, it's no problem, I want you to play anyway. If they do, then don't feel bad. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, it is perfectly acceptable for you to sit there and be encouraging and smile and not worrying that you didn't give a gift. If you do choose to participate, or you feel like you have no choice, a good alternatives for gifts are very neutral things like plain colored coffee mugs or travel mugs, gift cards to coffee shops like Starbucks. And we're not advocating for Starbucks or any brand, I'm just kind of throwing that out. And you can put it in a nice holiday greeting card that says happy holidays, season's greetings, that kind of thing. If you are in a place that doesn't have a particular affiliation, or they don't like Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or that kind of thing. If you are in an organization where it is a Christmas or it is a Hanukkah thing and you want to choose a card that expresses that, that's fine. Otherwise, it is always safe to put just a nice generic holiday thing and put it in there. You can also choose candles that have very soft scents like vanilla or clean, nothing overpowering, that's in a aesthetically pleasing container. And if you are not good at wrapping things, you can just put it in a red or green or blue or something kind of a gift bag, and that should be perfectly acceptable for that kind of thing. When you receive a gift, whether it is a gift exchange where it's a personal thing or it's a common like a game thing, remember that it is not supposed to be your dream gift. So you don't need to tell whoever gave it to you. If it's something you don't like, you don't need to say, I hate this because I don't like coffee mugs, or I can't eat peanuts, or this is itchy. It's not dishonest or insincere to withhold that kind of information from the giver. If you have a problem with receiving gifts, particularly those that may not work for you, a very kind and safe thing to say is, I really appreciate this, thank you so much, and smile at them. You don't have to elaborate anything, and it communicates to them that you appreciate their effort. That is perfectly fine. Now, if you receive something you love, you can absolutely say, I love this so much. This is my favorite author. I love photographs. I love dogs. I love sweaters. I love candles, whatever it is. And that's great too, but you don't have to expound on things that you don't necessarily like. And it's not dishonest to do that. You're just being kind by accepting the gift and moving on. Another thing that can be very hard for autistic people is if you are involved in family gatherings. And some people may not be able to escape that because you are living with family members, or there's just a very strong tradition, or you feel personally obligated. And even though it's easier than work, parties and events, it can still be kind of challenging. So I know for myself as a child, I really loathed family reunions and holiday gatherings because it felt like there were 80,000 people crammed into tiny houses, all screaming for eons on end. So I know, like, I personally would sneak in, get my food, go to the porch, go to the back bedroom and sit on the floor with my plate on my knees and eat, or go sit in the car if I could, or whatever way to try to escape all of the input. With all of these events, whether it's work or family, a lot of times now that we have earplugs and things like the loop earbuds, that's very helpful if you have those, and you can kind of sneak those in to kind of drown stuff out. Going back to the work thing, it's generally not acceptable at a work party to have earbuds plugged into your phone and you're gaming or listening to music. So if you anticipate, like at a work function or like a more formal family function, that you might have problems, you might want to go ahead and put in your earplugs or loops or whatever, maybe ahead of time or kind of on the down low, sort of put them in. That way it doesn't look like you're being rude, but it does sort of minimize some of the input. Another thing that you can do with any of these functions is slip out into the hall for a minute, whether it's at work or at a family thing. You can head to the restroom if you need to for a couple of seconds and kind of shut down. Hang out maybe in the periphery of a room, what used to be called being a wallflower, where it's probably maybe a little bit less dim, a little bit less noise, and just kind of sit to yourself. And as long as you try, if you can, if you are a person who can mask, to have a smile or sort of a pleasant expression that will communicate to people that you're not being a grouch, you're just there. A lot of times people interpret it as that you're shy or quiet and not bother you, and that can buy you some time to kind of recalibrate for a minute. Always, of course, if you are being overloaded, it is your right to be able to say to people, hey, I'm not feeling very well right now. I need to step out, or I need to go here for some quiet time, or if you even have to actually leave the venue, you need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So even though we do want to be polite and we do want to show gratitude toward people and family unity and teamwork and that kind of thing, you do need to take care of yourself, and you are entitled to be able to say, hey, I can't quite do this right now, I need to not be here. Obviously, if you're in a work environment or a family environment where people know that you are autistic or identify as autistic, there can be more openness to be like, hey, I can't do this, like there's too much at me right now, I need to stop. If you are in a place that is not safe to identify that way, you can say, I'm not feeling well, and stop and kind of remove yourself the best that you can. So if you are an autistic individual, some of this you may have already been doing, or it may be like, duh. For others of us, may not know what to do. And so I'm hoping that these are good guidelines for you. If you are an employer, coworker, family member, friend, neighbor, partner of a neurodivergent person, I hope that you take this into consideration and realize that what is super fun to you can be very stressful to an autistic person, just because there can be environmental stressors and social stressors that don't affect you in the same way that it does to us. So I do ask that you think about this, and that you show compassion, and that you do advocate for your autistic friends and for the autistic community. If you are a neurodivergent person, advocate for yourself the best you can within your society and your neighborhood and your workplace and your family unit that you are in. We obviously all have different situations, but you are entitled to take care of yourself. And so this is kind of long, much longer than I expected. So I'm going to wrap up my autistic expounding at this point and just tell you that we wish you all a wonderful holiday season, and that you are awesome, and that you just keep being you. Advocate for yourself, advocate for your community. And if you have any ideas for future videos that you would like to talk about, drop them in the comments below and I will try to get to them. And I did want to caveat that this is an inclusive community, so we don't deal with disrespect of any people group, and that includes non-autistic or neurotypical bashing. So we want this to be an area that helps to facilitate understanding and communication with everybody. So we welcome all respectful comments and input, and we just wish you the very, very best. Take care of yourself, and we will see you again soon. Thanks.